So oftentimes when we talk about the human backpack, we're mentioning Aljamain Sterling and his performance on Corey Sandhagen. But Thiago Moises, he made that happen against Christos Giagos, man, in a very surprising turn of events because Christos Giagos, he had the haircut, right? He's looking fierce, looking mean, looking like he's going to come out, but he looked jittery and tense when he came out, man. He looked very on edge. Like he was, oh, is he going to shoot on me? What's he going to do? And what did Thiago Moises do, man? He said, I need to get a win back on my record. So instead of me trying to sit here and play like I'm some amazing kickboxer, I'm going to fight towards my strengths. What are my strengths? I'm going to shoot for the takedown. I'm going to, you know what I mean? Work the single, work whatever I need to work, and then transition to where I could take the back, put the 2 hooks in, get the backpack, choke him out. That's what he did. And that was basically the name of the game for the fight. What was most impressive about this, AJ, once again, like I mentioned earlier, Thiago Moises is the first fighter to submit Christos Giagos since 2014. Last fighter was Gilbert Burns, man. It was a first-round armbar. So to be able to do that to Christos Giagos, a phenomenal wrestler, a man who actually took down Armin Sharukian when they fought last, I just thought that this spoke levels to how high level of a specialist Thiago Moises is when he hones in on his jiu-jitsu. Do you think that that should be the move playing forward? When you're a specialist, hone your strengths, like work your strengths. Why are you sitting here trying to kickbox when you're the jiu-jitsu guy? Like, what do you think?
I mean, we've seen it work very well for Habib and a couple other specialists out there, man. And I agree with you. If you're that good at something, some sport or some area of the fight game, might as well just dive deep headfirst into that, and then let the other skills still work on those other skills and still bring them up, but really utilize that. Because we saw it, and to me, what this fight for Thiago Moises really, I like the change I saw going forward is he knew he needed to win a fight. He was like, I can't just leave this one to the judges again. I got to go in there. I got to make a statement. I got to prove it. And that hungerness, I think, is what made the hunger drove the necessity to fight the way he fought. Instead of going Showtime mode and trying to get the big flashy KOs and fight the kickboxing fight because that's what everyone wants to see. Homie said, "Fuck it, I need the money. I'm gonna win. I'm tapping this dude out, however it goes." And I think it's a very viable strategy for Thiago Moises going forward. If you could do that to a fighter like Giagos, there's a lot of dudes up there that Giagos could have done that too. So I think it sets up a really nice precedent for Thiago Moises going forward in the future. You feel me, Derek?
Yeah, I absolutely feel you, man. The question is, can he do this against the higher level competition? Because Thiago Moises, it's no disrespect or anything. I guess how I'm looking at it is that when you look at the problems he's ran into, it's been against the Yoel Alvarez, Islam Makhachev, Damir Ismagulov, Benil Dariush, like the highest of level opponents right there. Those are the people he's having problems with. But the people he's beaten, Christos Giagos, Michael Johnson, Bobby Green, Alexander Hernandez. So on one end, it's like, all right, Moises, man, like if you can get back to these routes and you can get another run to get to that top notch, you know what I mean, back into the rankings, because he's obviously you see 22 next to his name over here. At one point, he was like number 15, 14, 13, something like that. So if he can get back into that top 15 and get going again, man, the sky's the limit. This dude's young, bro. He's in his 20s still. So like that's what's even more impressive. So I don't know, man. Christos Giagos, tough test, but I guess that's where I wanted to ask you next, because we have to talk about the winners and the losers. For Christos Giagos, man, back-to-back losses to Thiago Moises and Armin Sharukian. He did have 2 good wins over Carlton Minus and Sean Soriano, but at this point, man, dude's 32 years old. He's had a hell of a run in the UFC. Is he just kind of this placeholder for a lot of these fighters to determine, like kind of a gatekeeper of sorts?
Of sorts, like a gatekeeper, but not like a gatekeeper into the top 15, if you will. And I feel bad too. I don't not necessarily feel bad, but it's rough for Giagos because there's a time where he was really surging, man, really surging very high, and then now he's kind of falling off a little bit and getting kind of the short end of the stick on a lot of these fights, man. He's fighting the top dogs, but really not getting any respect for it. So it's a hard one for Giagos because at that age, and you mentioned it before, how he looks kind of timid or shaky or kind of just not necessarily locked into the fight. And even in the Arman Sarukian fight right before, you could see that Giagos struggles a little bit mentality-wise. Mm-hmm. And it's a little bit of a flaw in the game plan. You could see he can not necessarily crumble under the stress, but just not handle the stress as best as you should, Yeah. So it's a hard one for Giagos. I hope he keeps fighting, and I do think he can do better in the division because it's such a stacked division. So there's many rooms to crawl up into, So Giagos, I hope he sees some, a nice little opponent on the next one. But I feel like it's getting close to that, that time, if you will.
I would imagine it'd be a quick turnaround for both fighters. Not like either of them really took damage. It was just a quick submit. That's the beauty of jiu-jitsu, right? Just quick submission, in and out. All right, I'm still healthy. What's up? Line me up for another fight. Get me in the card 2 weeks from now. I don't know. But great win by Thiago Moises, man. Human backpack. Let's get it.